Jai Gurudev students. Today I am going to start, that is third part of the tissue system. That is today's tissue is connective tissue. So this connective tissue are of mainly three types. Connective tissue proper, then skeletal tissue, and then vascular tissue. So first part, that is a connective tissue. Again, there are the different types of connective tissue. One is areolar tissue, white fibrous tissue, yellow fibrous tissue, adipose tissue, and reticular tissue. Now, among these, this white fibrous tissue again are of two types, tendon and sheath. This yellow fibrous tissue, actually it is known as ligament. In class 9 or 9, you already have studied that is the difference between ligaments and tendons. So this one is a ligaments, yellow fibrous tissue, and in white fibrous tissue tendon is present. Okay, let me start from the first one, that is from areolar tissue. So in case of areolar tissue, the tissue is transparent and gelatinous, diagram is here, and the sticky matrix and two types of fibers. Fibers are loosely arranged. So these are loosely arranged and widely distributed in our body and found beneath the skin around the visceral organ like stomach, intestine. So this one is yellow fibers, this part, and white one. They are loosely arranged, and matrix, liquid part, or we can say that it is a more or less fluid, little bit thick fluid part. Okay, these are the two fibers, which is the characteristics of this areolar tissue. Next one is white fibrous tissue, which are of two types. One is tendon, another one is sheath. Now in case of this tendon, the bundles of white fibers run parallel. So this one is matrix, in between matrix. So these are the bundles run parallel and very tough and inelastic in nature. They join muscles with bone, as all of you know. And next one is sheath. In case of the sheath, the bundles of white fibers are present in the crisscross. One fibrous, another fibrous, in the crisscross manner, matrix is present. Okay, and it joins the skull bones to form suture. That is, in case of our skull, the bones are attached to one another by means of this sheath. So these are the two types of white fibrous tissue. Now next one is yellow fibrous tissue. The matrix is with a numerous closely packed thick yellow and elastin fibers. These are the fibers, white fibers, and yellow fibers are also present. Okay, matrix part, this part is matrix, and they are found in the ligaments, the wall of the blood vessel, lungs, and bronchioli. So this is yellow fibers. Okay. The next one is adipose tissue. This one is adipose tissue. See the structure? So it is with a large spherical fat cell, consists of a large fat of globules. These are the flat globules. Okay, these are the flat globules. Empty fat cell, but this one is not empty. Inside it, flat globules are present. And adipocytes. This one is adipocyte, so with a fat cell. Small size bundle fibers are there. They are found in the skin, kidney, eyes, heart. And the main function of the adipose tissue is to protect the organ like the kidney, eyes, and the heart. Okay. Next one is reticular tissue. This reticular tissue, in reticular tissue, matrix is fluid. Okay, fluid, actually matrix is generally fluid. Matrix contain stellate shape, that is, this one is a stellate shape. Okay, and rectangular cell. Reticular cell secretes reticular fibers. Now where it is present? It is present in the spleen, thymus, tonsil, lymph, liver, bone marrow. Reticulate cell, this one is reticulate cell, this part is matrix, and these are the nucleus. This is all about reticular connective tissue. So we have completed the connective tissue proper, that is areolar tissue, white fibrous tissue out of two types, tendon and sheath, yellow fibrous tissue, adipose tissue, and reticular tissue. Now let me start the next one, that is skeletal tissue. In case of the skeletal tissue, cartilage and bone. Okay. In case of the cartilage are of three types: hyaline, fibrous, and calcified. In case of the bone, these are of compact, spongy, dermal, cartilaginous, and sesamoid. So this is about the skeletal tissue. Now, let me explain about the hyaline, fibrous, and calcified tissue. In case of the hyaline tissue, it is a solid and semi-solid but flexible. It helps to absorb mechanical shock and it is slightly elastic. It is present in the nasal septum, larynx, etc. Okay. So this one is hyaline. Now next one is in case of the fibrous tissue with a large number of fibers. So these are the fibers. Large number of fibers are present. So you can see the differences here, that these fibers are absent, these fibers are present. That's why it is known as fibrous. And next one is calcified. Actually, in case of the calcified, the matrix is deposited with a calcium salt. It is very hard, inelastic, and brittle, and found in the pectoral girdle. So this is the difference between the hyaline, fibrous, and calcified. In case of the hyaline, the white fibers are not compactly arranged. In case of the fibers, you can get the white fibrous tissues. In case of the calcified, the calcium deposited salt is present. So that's why it is inelastic in nature. Now let me start about the bone. Now in case of the bone, on the basis of their structure, they are of a compact and spongy. The terms itself, it's defined that in case of the spongy, there is a no regular Haverian system, so have a spongy structure and present in the skull. But in case of the compact one, they have a regular Haverian system and it is present in the bone marrow and that store fat. So it is a kind of cells that are compactly arranged. In case of the bone, on the basis of the treatment, these are of a dried bone and the decalcified bone. In case of the dried bone with only the mineral matter, dried bone, and here only with a organic matter. Now bone on the basis of origin of bone that are of cartilaginous, these are elongated hard bone found in vertebrate, and dermal bone, automatically membrane like bone, that is skull bone, and sesamoid bone, disc like bone, that is kneecap. So these are all different type of connective tissue. So today I have described the connective tissue, that is connective tissue proper, skeletal tissue, but not the vascular tissue. In my second day, I will give you the vascular tissue next day. But in case of the connective tissue proper, these are of areolar, white fibrous, yellow fibrous, adipose, reticular, where the white fibrous again are of two types, tendon and sheath. In case of the skeletal tissue are of cartilage and bone. In case of the cartilage, hyaline, fibrous, and calcified. In case of the bone, I have defined you on the basis of texture, on the basis of treatment, on the basis of origin of the bone. But here, in simple way, you can write compact bone, spongy, dermal, cartilaginous, and sesamoid. Today is up to this much.